My name is Robert, Mr. Entertainment, Fouracre.
No, I'm Bob Fouracre, and this is Big Shot Bowling. Emanating from the Londonderry Bowling Center in Londonderry, New Hampshire, it's Big Shot Bowling. Big Shot Bowling is brought to you in part by Duddy Ford. From economy to luxury, you'll find it at Duddy Ford. By Diamond Chevrolet, where you always get a diamond of a deal. And by Durette, custom concepts in cast lucite. Big Shot Bowling is brought to you in conjunction with the World Candlepin Bowlers Congress. Hi, everybody. I'm Bob Fouracre, along with Dan the Man Murphy here on Big Shot Bowling, and we welcome you all. We're back to the women's format, and Dan, it should be a good one. Sharon Rawson and Toni-Marie Baldinelli, and when we last left the women's format, these two gals were doing candlepin bowling battle.
That's exactly right. Sharon defeated Toni-Marie 370-357 the last time they met. Had a roll-off in the meantime, and Toni-Marie is right back with us. And Toni-Marie carries an average of 170, average of 116, a high single of 179, and a 469 for a high triple.
How about our defending champ, Sharon?
Well, she's trying to make it 2 in a row. She carries 115 average. She's a high single of 184 and 423 for a high triple.
Not too bad at all. Two great lady candlepin bowlers. We'll be back with the first of 3 strings. But before we do, we're going to roll away for these messages.
Not much meat on my bone.
Welcome back to Big Shot Bowling. Bob Fouracre with Dan Murphy, and to lift it off is Toni-Marie Baldinelli, the challenger, taking on Sharon Rawson, the champ.
And, of course, Toni-Marie is no stranger to our show, as well as most of the TV bowling shows. She's been with us, let me see, 7 different times, 5 wins and 2 losses.
She's a great one. And she lifts off with a 7 count. The winner will be picking up a couple of $100. The runner-up $100. Both ladies will be receiving trophies from George Girton Trophy Center, located in Worcester, Massachusetts. And of course, if one of the ladies gets a triple strike during the match, she'll win herself a trip or 2 to Atlantic City, compliments of Fresh Pond Travel. And the big shot of the show is the winner will be going after the person. What's that there, Danny boy? What are you trying to do to me? Get me off track already?
Well, I guess so.
What I was saying is the big shot of the show is going to be the gal will get a chance at a triple. If she wins it, she'll get the shot at the automobile, compliments of Duddy Ford and 6 Gun Productions.
Same lead that Toni-Marie started off with.
Here's the champ, Sharon Rawson from Greenfield, Massachusetts. Toni-Marie makes her home in Amesbury, Mass. Oh, nice shot. 9 counts, so the champ jumps up by a couple.
As we said at the opening of the show, Sharon, last time with us, defeated Toni-Marie 370-357.
That was after Toni had picked up a couple of victories. Sharon looking down at 5 pins. The 1, off to the left, the 4 and the 7, and to the right, the 6 and the 10.
A pretty bold move early in the match, trying to go.
Yes.
Trying to clean up 3 or 4 or 5 of them. Got only the head pin, light hit, so it's a 2-pin advantage.
For the lady you're looking at, Toni-Marie Baldinelli.
Both bowlers missing that head pin with the first ball. Toni was first with us back in April of '87 when she defeated Dottie Lorick 374-314. Came back the following week to defeat Anita Fournier 342-336. Followed up with a win over Dot Link, 362 to 328, before losing to Carol Moran, 332 to 309. She came back with us in June of '88, defeated Joanne Rosano, 378, 321, and then defeated Debbie Regan, 357, 329, before losing to Sharon Rawson, 370, 357.
And over the years, Toni has won 10 tournaments on the World Candlepin Bowlers Congress Pro Tour. And she's been the Pro Bowler of the Year 4 different times.
Yes, quite a candlepin bowler.
The daughter of a great one, a Hall of Famer, Toni Baldinelli. Toni-Marie makes her home in Amesbury, Massachusetts. Here's the champ. Sharon, nice ball.
Everything but that 6-pin.
Sharon hoping to get the first mark of this match. Pulls the trigger and misses the bullseye. Off to the left, as you saw.
It's the type of shot that if you're going to miss it, you want to miss to the right because you still can clip the wood behind it. Yeah, that's a 9 and 24. Still looking for our first mark.
Sharon with an average of 115. Her best high single, a 184. Best 3 of 423. Right in the 1-3 pocket that time. Tough leave, though.
3-7-10. Let's see where the wood settles down. Now, it looks like she's actually going to have after the 3-pin, just like the wood wasn't there. Drive the 3-pin straight back. Hopefully get some help from the ball and the piece of wood.
Oh,
nice
yes!
Shot. Nice shot. First mark of the match. Let's take a look at that one. I thought she might have been a little far left, but just enough to slide the 3-pin into the 10.
Here's Toni-Marie coming up into the 1-2 pocket, hoping for her first mark. Sharon pulled off an outstanding shot for a spare.
2, 4, 5, 7 with the 10-pin. Look at this.
Oh, looks good.
Nice try. Everything but that 10.
Toni's average this season, a 116. She's been bowling candlepins for 30 years. The lady you're looking at. Wow.
She must have started at...
I'm not going to say anything. Oh, no.
Everything but the 9.
Before we started the show, Toni-Marie came up to Dan the Man Murphy, grabbed him by the tie and said, hey, last year you gave my age. Don't you do it this year. Then gave him a backhander. I picked him up and dusted him off, and here we are. Nice spare by Toni-Marie. I think she started when she was about 2 or 3 years old.
It had to be. She just doesn't look a day over 29.
No, not at all. Both ladies with a spare knife.
That's a 6 fill for Sharon. Gives her 40 through 4.
Looks
and
good.
2 in a row.
Yes.
Nice shot.
Right on the button. Oh, pretty shot by the champ.
Girls are stepping it up a little notch here. 2 in a row for Sharon. 50 through 5 with a ball to come. Right back on the head pin. And
Sharon has been on the tour 6 seasons, Dan, with 1 victory.
3-7 left for Sharon. She's got a shot at it. She's got to have the 3-pin. And the way the wood's angled, the ball or the 3-pin could carry the 7. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Nice shot.
Oh,
3 in a row.
Sharon Rawson of Greenfield, Massachusetts, on fire right now in the first of 3. It's all happening from the Londonderry Bowling Center in Londonderry, New Hampshire. Toni-Marie back, bringing down 8, looking down at the 7 and the 4.
Toni-Marie's made the adjustment. The first couple boxes, she was missing the head pin to the right. She tried to turn the ball over a little more, started hitting the head pin light, and that time she was right in the pocket, 3/4 on the head pin, and got a good 8-pin drop.
The ladies are sparing them up now.
And again, right back in the pocket.
Wow.
Big 9-pin drop, leaves the 4.
Toni-Marie looking for her 3rd mark in a row. Yes.
Covers.
comes Sharon. Sharon working on a spare, looking for her 4th mark in a row.
Again, both girls now on the head pin. 3, 5, 6 left. Triangle, 7 fill on the spare, 75 through 6 for Sharon. And a 10-pin lead.
A little bit off to the left. Sharon Rawson. Spare 6, spare 8, spare 7, and an 8 count.
83 through 8.
Trailing now by 1. And she is opposite a spare. Drop of a half dozen for Sharon.
So quickly Sharon goes from 10 pins ahead to 1 behind. Could fall further behind without converting this, and she doesn't. So depending on what Toni-Marie does on a spare, she'll increase that lead.
This the first of 3. Oh, nice
10.
shot for the 10 count by Sharon Rawson, the defending champ. This the first of 10 weeks here for the women on the tour. They're all members of the World Candlepin Bowlers Congress, and we'll have them for the next 10 weeks on Big Shot Bowling. Toni-Marie Baldinelli leading it by 6, a 99 now after that 5 fill on her spare. And a 10 count. So a 109 with 1 to go for Toni-Marie in the first game. Toni-Marie's best high single, a 179. And her best 3, a 469.
136 plus the 7 pin. Well, she's right at her average right now, 116.
And an 8 count. A 117 for the challenger, Toni-Marie Baldinelli. Sharon getting in the 1-3 pocket, bringing down 5.
Disappointing 6 box. Gives
Half
her
dozen, yep.
99 and drops behind by 10 pins.
That she does with 1 to go. She could use a couple of strikes right here. Oh, almost got 1, leaving the 6. Now she's hoping for a spare. Both ladies with 3 spares in this match so far.
Boy, pull the ball to the left.
That's twice she's missed singles.
Seemed to let up on that ball a little bit.
1 ball too late, and a 109 for the defending champ after 1. There it is, Sharon Rawson trailing it. 117 for Toni-Marie. Sharon with a 109. We'll be back with the second, but first, let's pause for these messages. Off the second game, Sharon Rawson, the defending champ, trailing by 8, leads it off with a drop of a half dozen. In the first game, she had a 109, and Toni-Marie Baldinelli had a 117. Oh, nice one.
2, 4, 7, and the 5 pin. That's twice as she's converted that first spare. Opens up the second game, marking the first.
And she fills it with a 5 count. Sharon Rawson from Greenfield,
disappointing 7. Difference in the match right now, of course, Sharon missed that spare in the 10th, but Toni-Marie seems to be pinning a lot better. Sharon had a couple 6 boxes the first game, and Toni-Marie crosses over in a 1-2 pocket to trip the 6-pin for the strike.
First strike of the match, and here we go on replay. There it is. Bang. Got them all. Looking for the double.
Really turned that ball over.
Now, if a lady gets a triple during the match, she'll win herself a trip or 2 to Atlantic City, compliments of Fresh Pond Travel. And they're located in Natick, Massachusetts. When thinking travel, think Fresh Pond. Nine count for Toni-Marie.
Increases her lead by 4 more.
Up to 14, huh? Yep. Make it 12, excuse me. Drop of 5 for Sharon.
Looking at the 4 horsemen to the left, plus the 8-pin in the back. 1, 3, 6, 10. And the 8. Trying to split the 1 and the 3.
Oh, nice try.
Doesn't get much to show for it. Always a tough shot. One of the old wooden pins. We used to get that 4 horsemen a lot more than we do now with the plastic pins.
It was easier in those days, huh?
I think it was with the wooden pins. Of course, if you're really having a bad day, you slip the pin boy an extra 5 and he knocked down the 10 for you. Good ball by Sharon. Strike.
Oh, she got it. Sharon with her first strikey. Let's watch it again. Sharon Rawson.
Good extension. 1-3 pocket. 5 and the 8 finally go.
Toni-Marie misfiring on that one, but she got half of them.
She's got the 4 horsemen at 9, opposite side that Sharon just had, but she's got some help behind. She can hit that head pin. Now,
not what she wanted to be.
Now, she didn't get the good lift on the ball because she came roundhouse with her arm. In other words, her arm swing is out away from her body, so she comes sidearm with the ball almost. Prevents her from getting underneath and lifting the ball. The ball straightens out on her. 9 box.
Toni-Marie Baldinelli hoping to grab her 6th win over the years here on Big Shot Bowling. Well, there's an interesting leave. Don't see that one too often, Dan.
No,
2-4 and 3-6.
Pick 2. Try to split the 3-6 or the 2-4.
Ah, she got the 3-6. Now she'll go after the 2-4. Toni-Marie leading by 13 in the match. Misfires on that one.
It's a rare miss by Toni-Marie with 2 pins together like that. 43 through 4. Sharon is 40 with 2 balls to come on the strike. Chance to cut into the lead.
Nice one in the 1-2 pocket, but a tough leave.
Well, the problem isn't the 9 pin, I don't think. It's a 10 anyway, so if they're going to try to cut the 5 on the left-hand side. Good shot.
Oh, nice try by the champ. Sharon has been bowling candle pins for 10 years. She enjoys softball besides candlepin bowling. Sharon with an average of 115. Her best triple, 423. Her high single, 184. Wow, 2 full on the head. Got the 1, 5, and the 9.
Spread eagle plus the 8 pin. Trying to split the 3 and the 6, and oh boy.
The bunny hole.
Oh boy. Still looking at 7 pins. 1 ball remaining now. And pretty good out.
Comes out of it with a 7 and a 62.
But again, you can see the spare 5 then follow up with a 7 and an 8, spare strike 7 and another 8 and 7. So she's not pinning well.
Toni-Marie looking down at the spread eagle. It's birdie time here on Big Shot Bowling. Got the 3. 2, 4, 7, 6, and 10 down on the pin plate. Nice out by the challenger, Toni-Marie Baldinelli, who is leading by 4 in this one and a dozen in the match. Five down, 5 to go. He's been on the Pro Tour for 15 years. And a 10. We're going to break it right here on Big Shot Bowling. We're showcasing our champ, Sharon Rawson, against our challenger, Toni-Marie Baldinelli. More will be coming up right after we pause.
That's what I do, how I do, when I do it. And last night I gave him a funky bite.
Back to the action we come, and to get it rolling is Sharon Rawson. Sharon trailing by 7 in the match. She's leading in this game by 1, a 62 to 61 after a half dozen.
2-4-7 with the 6-pin, trying to split the 2-4 and have the 2 jump over into that 6.
Dan, I'd like to congratulate you and the rest of the members of the World Candlepin Bowlers Congress as you just held your 16th annual Pro Bowlers Awards night. And it was a great one indeed. And I know you honored a lot of people. And you can just share with us some of the people you honored this past weekend on the tour.
Oh, I'd like to first congratulate the Bowler of the Year from Biddeford, Maine, Paula Truman. Did an outstanding job this year, and runner-up, of course, bowler has been there before, Carol Downey, and she'll be with us in the coming weeks. On the men's side, I'd like to congratulate Dan Gallant, Bowler of the Year, 1989, and runner-up was Steve Renault. And this year's Personality of the Year award that we give away each and every year for those outstanding contributions to Candlepin Bowling goes to the ICBA, the International Candlepin Bowling Association President Sharon Sundberg, and I've had a chance to work with Sharon being a delegate to the ICBA, and she does a fine, outstanding job for this great game. I'd like to congratulate Sharon Sundberg, the Acton Bowl.
Well, I'd like to echo my congratulations to all the bowlers that partook on the tour this past season and all the winners at the awards banquet. And we salute the President, Don Riley. We also salute Tony Zernicke, Helen Larson, Jack Ray, and who else? Missing anyone there? That's about enough right now. My arm's tired from saluting. And right now we're watching one of the great ones in Candlepin Bowling, Toni-Marie Baldinelli.
3-5-6-9, the diamond lead for Tony. The ladies have cooled off a little bit since that first game.
That they have.
Nice try.
Oh, nice try on the diamond.
Ladies have a tendency not to get the big pin action like the men because of the speed on the ball. So they've really got to keep that ball in play, which I mean is hitting the object pin each and every shot and be able to pin very well.
So we're down to the final 2 in the second game. Sharon is leading by 2 in this one. In the match, she's down by a half dozen as she looks for her second straight win here on Big Shot Bowling. She came back as our defending champ. And the last time she was with us, last season, she defeated the lady she's bowling right now, Toni-Marie Baldinelli, when she posted a 370 to a 357 for Toni-Marie. 10 count for Sharon. Sharon so far in this game, a spare in the first and a strike in the fourth. For Toni-Marie, she's had a 1 mark, a strike coming in the first. Oh, nice ball.
Where the 7 go?
No. The first game, it was a 117 to a 109. Toni-Marie with the 117. Sharon hoping to negotiate the 7.
Gotta hang on. Just sliding off. That's 2 crucial misses in both the 10th frames of the first game and now here in the second. And same thing.
Hit it again.
Just a little more speed on the ball. Straighten it out a little more. Would have hung on for her, but her ball breaks right to left.
209 after a couple for Sharon. Here's Toni-Marie.
Breaking in just a little too full in the head pin. Leaves herself a 4-7 on the left with a 6-10 on the right. And Bob and I would push the reset button, but Toni-Marie's going to try to split the 4-7.
What a great attempt by Toni-Marie Baldinelli. Going after the 4-7 and the 6-10. Got them all but the 6. Got it that time for the 10 count. What a shot. 89 with 1 to go for Toni-Marie. As we're down to the final box in the second game. Oh, yes. Nice ball leaving the 4.
Well, she too has now a single pin, 10th frame, a chance to catch Sharon in this game and increase her lead.
Got it.
Spare up in the 10th. 99 with a ball to come.
Both ladies now with a strike and 4 spares in this match. Toni-Marie.
Anything over 1 will increase her lead.
Over the years, she's won 10 tournaments on the Pro Tour. Second only to the great one, the queen of candlepin bowling, Stacia Zernicke.
The Hall of Famer, Stacia Zernicke.
Yes, and she'll be with us in about 9 weeks from now. There it is, after a couple, 2:23 for Toni-Marie Baldinelli, 2:09 for Sharon Rawson. We'll be back with the final game, so stick around for more exciting action here on Big Shot Bowling.
Center is for children with special needs and is dedicated to helping those children with developmental and neurological handicaps. And it's located at the New England Medical Center's floating hospital for infants and children. And the center, of course, features comprehensive testing, evaluation, and therapy directed to each child's unique needs. And you can see the address on your screen. Appreciate your help.
Send us some bucks. Center for Children with Special Needs. Now to get the action going, here's Toni-Marie Baldinelli.
Look out. Look out. Almost the backdoor strike.
Toni enters the final game leading by 14 in the match. 223 to Sharon's 209. Spare it up.
Next week's challenger, Debbie Toby, will be coming on board.
Where does Debbie hail from?
I'm not sure.
Well, we'll find that out.
We can punch that up in the computer and find that out, but she is a teammate of Toni-Marie in the international. I think it's Leominster, Mass.
Leominster, Massachusetts,
Yeah,
better known
Mass.
as Leominster. From Leominster, Massachusetts.
6 fill on the spare for Toni-Marie.
And a 7 count after a spare 6 and 23. Here's Sharon. Right in the 1-2 pocket, dropping 8.
6 and 9 left for Sharon.
Sharon has had her problems pin picking in this match. Not that time.
Nice cover for the 6-9.
Both
Trailing by
ladies-
14.
Both ladies now with 5 spares and a strike.
Wants to better the 6 fill that Toni-Marie had and possibly put up another mark. Looks pretty good going down.
Yes.
Make
7.
it 7, 7.5.
It's there
3, 9, and 10.
with some lumber.
Looks like she's going to have a good shot at it if she covers the 3-pin. With the angle, she just doesn't want that 3-pin to fly around the 10-pin. See what happens.
Got it.
Oh, got it. Is right. 2 in a row. Gains another 3 in count. So it's 10-pin lead minus the ball when she comes back.
Toni-Marie Baldinelli. She's going to clean a pin out of Lane number 30. No, she isn't going to. Can we get a shot of that, please? There we go. She'll try again. It's the way Dan used to bowl before I gave him lessons. Now he's making videos. You're all right?
Excuse me.
Cough in the mic. I don't care. Hey.
Toni-Marie right back with a spare of her own in the third.
So both ladies now with a couple of spares in the final game.
Lob line judge, of course, our own Tony Zernicke. Bert Perangeli on the big scoreboard for you people at home. And
we're without a statistician today, Dan.
And Cheryl Young is our statistician,
oh,
like always. Yes, yeah. Last show she had a rough time, though. Remember, she made a few mistakes.
Yeah?
Yeah. I gave her a tongue lashing on the way home.
Now that's good. Was she hitchhiking? Did you pick her up?
Yeah.
Toni-Marie missing the object. Cost her a spare.
Well, Six Gun Productions cut her cab fare out, so she doesn't have that cab fare anymore.
It's the way it should be. Half 100 after 4. Or is that a... Wait a second. Yeah, let's make that... Yeah. After 4, half 100. For Toni-Marie Baldinelli.
And disappointing 3 fill on the spare for Sharon. And boy, earlier in the match, she had the same lead with the third ball. Let's see if she decides to go for the head pin and try to clear them all out. And she does, but this time slides by. Yes, well, I would have done the same thing. I mean, I may not have done the same thing, but I would have tried to go for the head pin. Well, 4 horsemen in the 8. She's got to put another mark up. Got to stay close.
Dan, before I forget, I want to wish you well in defending your title in the state of New Hampshire here in 1989.
So we're here in 1989.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, thank you.
Hopefully you won't run into Tim Lipke. Last time I saw you and Tim in the state finals here in the Granite State, he blew you away.
But I got back at him, didn't I?
Yeah, I guess so.
So we have a good rivalry here in New Hampshire. Mike Poulin and Timmy, myself, Pat Pay. There's a lot of good bowlers.
Oh, yes.
A lot of good bowlers in New Hampshire. Well, look what we got here.
Drop of 8.
3 in the 4 and a nice piece of wood in between. If Tony's on the 3-pin, she should cover both of them.
Oh, nice try by Toni-Marie Baldinelli.
Except if she's a little bit to the left. Therefore, she won. I thought she had that covered.
Tony's leading in the match by 20.
10-60 through 5.
This time I'd like to thank Mr. Tux for suiting me up for this show. Gary Levine and all the fine folk at Mr. Tux on Belmont Street in Worcester, Massachusetts. We thank him. When you're thinking formal wear, think Mr. Tux.
Well, it's going to be 2 openings for Sharon Rawson to work on, trailing by 20. Pretty good out by Tony, though.
A 9 count for Toni-Marie Baldinelli.
At third ball, so very, very important many times.
Is it ever? 69 after a half dozen in the final game for Toni-Marie. Here's Sharon. Misfiring a bit. She got 5. Looking down at the 4 horsemen on the right. 1, 3, 6, 10, and off to the left, the 7. Oh, wow! What a try.
No luck there. No luck. Right around the 7-pin. Had a great shot at that spare.
Both ladies with 1 strike and a half dozen spares. 10 count for Sharon. Sharon from Greenfield, Massachusetts. An average of a 115. High single of a 184. High 3 of a 423. In the 1-2
Wants
pocket.
that 7-pin to go, or
It's a rocking.
or the 6.
Yeah, the 6 is really rocking down there, but they're both going to stay.
He's gonna have a shot with the wood. Not a real good angle, but she's gonna have to try to hit the 6-pin clean to send the wood over. Very delicate shot.
No.
Too much of that second piece of wood. No, she can gain 1 in count by picking this up for a 10, but she's gonna have a tough road. Last 4 boxes.
And a 10. And we're going to break it right here after a half dozen of the final game. It's Sharon Rawson. In this, the third and final game, Tony has 3 spares. Overall now 7 spares, 1 strike. Fills it with 7.
I'm just going to try to split the 3-6 to carry that 7-pin. More important, it's a big 7 on the spare. Look at this. Oh,
wow.
Just missed it. 3-6-7.
Tony hoping to grab her 6th win over the years here on Big Shot Bowling. Back in '87, she won 3 in a row. In '88, she had a couple of victories before Sharon defeated her in the final match of the ladies format in 1988.
Well, being down by 19, now facing a mark up in the 7th, Sharon is really going to have to put some marks together.
Well, she was climbing in on the head, but got a tough one here. It can be had, though. Nope.
Nice try, though. Went inside of the 6-pin, trying to come off the wall with a 10 for the 5.
And a 10 count for Sharon Rawson.
Well, she really needs a mark now. Last 3 frames. Depending on what Toni-Marie does, she may immediately put herself in a double strike situation, but she needs 3 big marks, possibly the double strike.
At this time, I'd like to thank the executive producer of Big Shot Bowling, John E. Liggums. This show has been produced and directed by Bob McElroy.
And sliding by is Sharon, and leave the door wide open for Toni-Marie.
That she is. Also would like to pay thanks to Bob's assistant, Tim Young, and the rest of the staff for a superlative job here on Big Shot Bowling. 96-83 with 2 to go. Toni-Marie in the lead. Up by 27 overall. In this one, she's ahead by 13. And if things continue to go the way they've been going, Toni-Marie will have the big shot of the show. She'll be going after Thunderbird. All she'll have to do is get the triple strike. Maybe she's been saving. She's had 1 strike so far in this match, Dan.
Well, let's hope so.
But it ain't over yet.
106 with 1 to go.
Oh, yes. 1 more to go now. The 10. Toni-Marie hoping to get a spare.
Lonely 10-pin.
Got it. Toni holds the record, by the way, for the most marks in a match. 15. They're all spares. Here in this show, she's recorded 8 spares and 1 strike. Oh, nice ball. 9.
Big 9-pin drop and a 125. And a 3-string total of 348.
348, the final count. After that 125 for Toni-Marie Baldinelli. Sharon in a heap of trouble. The record for the high single for the ladies is held by Debbie Scannell, a 150. Debbie also has the high triple of 389. She recorded strings of 134, 121, 134 for that 389. Most consecutive wins on the ladies format, Debbie Scannell, 5. Most wins ever, 5 by Debbie Scannell. She holds just about all the records, Dan. other than the two that Tony holds. The most marks, 15. The most spares, 15. Most strikes, by the way, Debbie Scannell, a half dozen. Oh, nice try by our past champ. Can we say that now?
I think we can.
Sharon Rawson. Next week, it's going to be Debbie Toby of Leominster, Massachusetts, taking on Toni-Marie Baldinelli. And a 10 count and a 101 and a 3-string count of a 310 for our past champ, Sharon Rawson. Toni-Marie Baldinelli spelling victory with a 348 to a 310. When we come back, we'll meet both ladies, and Toni-Marie will be going after a Thunderbird.
But ain't none of you women out there bad enough to keep away from my...
Toni-Marie Baldinelli spelling victory here as we open up the ladies' format for the next 10 weeks here on Big Shot Bowling. And Toni-Marie, it wasn't one of her better performances, but it was good enough for a win, Dan.
No, it wasn't one of Sharon's best performances either, but she missed a couple easy ones early, and the match was still close, and Toni-Marie kind of pulled away in that third game.
Well, we're going to bring up Sharon Rawson, and you can grab her a trophy. Come on up, Sharon Rawson. Let's have a nice round of applause for our runner-up from Greenfield, Massachusetts. Sharon, nice having you with us. I know you wanted a victory, but it just wasn't your day.
No, it wasn't.
What seemed to be the problem?
Everything. I couldn't hit nothing.
Couldn't hit a thing, huh? Well, you got $100 and a trophy from Girton Trophy Center, and Dan will give you a few words of encouragement.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's not too many people beat Toni-Marie twice in a row, so I knew the second one was going to be tough anyways for you. But something to show for your efforts, and I'm sure we'll see you back, Sharon.
I hope so.
Okay.
Nice having you with us. An outstanding bowler, Sharon Rawson from Greenfield, Massachusetts. And now let's bring up the lady who has won it 6 times over the years here on Big Shot Bowling. Let's hear it for Toni-Marie Baldinelli. Toni. Hey, you got a win, kid.
Yeah, I guess a win's a win, but it seemed like neither one of us wanted it.
No, but when it counted, you came up with 8 spares and 1 strike. Looking at Sharon, she just wasn't getting those conversions pin-picking, was she?
No, just nervous, both of us.
It can happen, huh?
It certainly does.
Well, Danny's a little nervous because I mentioned on the show that you whacked him when you mentioned his age a year ago, and we didn't mention it this year. We did mention, however, you've been bowling for 30 years.
Yeah, I was born with a bowling ball in my hand, that's all.
Okay, that's all. Danny said you were 29, so we'll leave it at that. Now, you've won a couple of $100. You're going to get a trophy, but you have an opportunity to win yourself a Thunderbird. You have to go to lane 30, get a strike, 29, strike, and then 30 a strike. It's as simple as that.
You said so. You said so.
Go do it. Let's hear it for Toni-Marie Baldinelli as she goes after the triple and a Thunderbird. You can call the first one, Dan.
Okay, I hit the 1-3 pocket. The last pin to go down will be the 6 pin. Well,
she's going after the Emma gift now. Go ahead. She needs a spare right here. Toni-Marie Baldinelli, a lady who has picked up 10 victories over the years. Yes, she got it. Wow. Come on in, Tony. An Emma gift for Toni-Marie Baldinelli. Outstanding spare.
Can't find the headband.
You found the spare, and you'll get an Emma gift. You get a couple of $100. Trophy from George Girton Trophy Center.
you must have a few of these, Tony. Here's another one to add to the collection.
Danny, who's coming aboard next week?
A friend of hers, Debbie Toby, will be here. In fact, a teammate of her in the ICBA girls championship team.
What about Debbie's bowling?
Debbie's a real good friend, and it's going to be probably the hottest match I ever had to do.
Well, we're going to be looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too.
Stay right here with us, Tony. Bob Fouracre, for my partner, Dan the Man Murphy, and our champ, Toni-Marie Baldinelli, thanking you so much for being with us here on Big Shot Bowling and inviting you back next week for more exciting action. Catch you then.